When we say Islam, we talk about Muhammad. Muhammad said, whole earth is a mosque for me. Can you make a more inclusive statement than that? Please let the Muslims live by that. When we say Hindus, now they're talking about Ram. Rama is that kind of man, just out of his integrity, he gives up his kingdom. He's a coronated king, but he walks away into the forest and his wife is stolen, terrible things are done. But when he kills his enemy who stole his wife and did terrible things to the people, he repents having killed him. So that is the man you're fighting for, don't forget. And for the leftist, let them remember all this conniving nonsense that they're doing everywhere. Even today they're continuing like this. I want to remind them, they are not progeny of Joseph Stalin or Mao Zedong. They are supposed to represent Karl Marx, who thought of an equitable society, a society without disparities, a compassionate economy which will nurture every human being. This is what he represents. Please let all three remember this. Right now this fanning of Hindu Muslims must fight, this whole thing is unfortunately not coming from Islamic community or largely from Hindu community. There are fringe elements on both sides, I'm not saying no, but largely it is coming from left-leaning extremists. What is their interest in religion? They should not even be interested in religion, but they are always playing with this. I request all of them, please understand whom you represent. You represent Muhammad, you cannot do this. If you represent Ram, you cannot do this. If you represent Karl Marx, you cannot do this.
So left-leaning extremists, now the Prime Minister has come up with a term to describe some of them. He says that they have occupied a vast influence over the minds of this country because they are located very close to the center of power. I mean, you can call it the Latvian zone, you can call it the Khan market consensus, what have you. But do you believe these individuals have a motivated interest, or are they just ideologically driven to doing this?
See, that is what I said. Their ideology is about Karl Marx. They are motivated because unfortunately they have understood this. When Marx envisioned communism, he thought richest nations will go for communism because he believed out of our humanity we will become communist. But right now, they have understood only if there is poverty, there will be communism. To convert people into communism, you need endemic poverty in this nation. So they are working towards that. They must be defeated because this is not good for the country. The country is striving to progress. People are striving to fulfill their aspirations. And some people, their aspiration is based in poverty as a capital.
Very interesting, very eye-opening and interesting. Sadhguru, I want to ask you that inevitably in a court case there will be one winner and loser.
I'm telling you, they're…
Yes. No, go ahead. You were saying something, go ahead.
No, I'm telling you how far this goes means, this is not just about temple and mosque. These same people are going about campaigning, if you plant lot of trees, it's dangerous for the country. How do you what do you say about that?
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, there is obviously a massive debate raging in the country about the contribution of certain individuals, but I just want to take it away from that a little bit because your time is precious to us. Now, there will be a side that might go away feeling hard done, that injustice, to use the words that you used, have been done to them. How should they cope with this? Who should they turn to deal with this sense of loss, if I may?
If they feel whatever the court may say, I would advise either the Uttar Pradesh government, if it is in their hands, or the central government, should do something to assuage their hurt in whichever form they think is best. More than what is needed they must do to ensure that they don't feel hurt.
Do you think there should be a temporal…
This is very important because this is not one generation.
So how should this outreach be constructed?
It is not a one generation's problem.
Should it be through What sort of resolution mechanism would you suggest?
See, one thing is, I'm not an expert or a scholar on Islam, but from what little I have known, one thing that clearly states that a mosque cannot exist on a disputed land. When Muhammad speaks about a mosque, he says it can be anywhere, it can even be an open space, but the only condition is it must be clean. Clean, not just physically clean, in every way clean. That means he is telling you that there should be no disputes about it. It must be a clean piece of land where we can assemble and seek God, of course. The highest possibility, whatever you believe in, you are trying to seek the highest possibility. So, in such a place, let us not, when there is such a big dispute and such negative emotion about it, and somebody has so much angst that their temple has been taken, I think even by the dictates of the religion, there is simply not necessary. Somebody should educate them in the right sense, rather than raking up and saying that injustice has happened. Tell me how to do justice, divide it 50-50. This is like the Solomon's wisdom, you know. He asked the people, two women claiming a child is theirs, he said, okay, let us cut it into two.
Yes.
Then the mother said, you take it. I'm not going to cut my child into two. So, don't go by this thing, this Solomon's wisdom. We must understand cutting it into pieces is not a solution. We must offer a solution which will be good for everybody, but there will be hurt, as you said, to assuage that. If not the court may just go by the law, they may not bother to assuage the hurt. The government should reach out and assuage the hurt, it's very important. The Hindu community should reach out and assuage the hurt, that is very important. You should not burst crackers and jump around and we won, this should not happen in the country. You must have the humility that Ram had, you must bow down to them, that's it.
Beautiful words, yes, beautiful words, no triumphalism. Let's demonstrate the humility that Ram demonstrated even in victory. Thank you very much, Sadhguru.